$124,455.62. This was a 125K minus a wire. It's all here. What's going on? This is Colin Brown here from Business Credit Unlimited. Back. Let's get into it. So today I'm going to talk about how I got approved for a 125K business loan. We're going to talk about which bank it was, the details, my journey through it all, and exactly why I did this in the first place. So it's really important to understand this. And I'm telling you, you're going to want to watch all the way through so you can catch all of the information. All right, let's get straight to it. So I got approved for a 125K business term loan. All right, like I said, today I will go over which bank I received the funding from, all my data points, and the typical data points to receive funding from this bank. Now, things to consider. First of all, let's get this out the way. This is not a no-doc business loan. This is a full documentation business loan. All right. And documentation, by the way, just means the banks will typically, or a full doc, when you normally see that, it's when you have to provide bank statements, tax returns, and other type of sheets like a P&L, a profit and loss, a balance sheet, so on and so forth. Okay. Actually, I didn't have to provide all of those things, but I'm going to tell you what I did have to provide, because I did provide documentation. So I'm not here. This is not a 125K no doc loan, none of that stuff. So let's get that out the way. I don't want anybody to misinterpret that. Okay. And most term loans on the business side will require documentation, especially if you're exceeding around the 50K mark on just one loan. And I'm not claiming that you or anyone else will be able to qualify directly for a six-figure loan. This is not for startups. Just getting this out the way at the beginning. Okay. And speaking of your business, generating, or did I mess this up? Either way, one take, Drake. Look, I end this out. Basically what I'm saying is, yeah, this isn't for startups. Okay. So if you are not already generating revenue in your business, especially like a 50K plus consistently in revenue, it's not likely that you're going to get a limit this high. Again, all in one loan. Maybe you can string together some 25Ks. Maybe a 50K here, 50K there. Possibly, really depends on your relationship with the bank that you're going after and how you set everything up. But get 125K just for your business is not going to be likely unless you have things set up properly. It doesn't matter if you go to this bank or your bank or whatever the case, you probably will not be approved, especially if your time in business is not at least 2 years. Okay. And one thing I want to address about that, your time in business is, a lot of times I see where, and it works to a certain extent, but I will see people say, well, all you got to do is just purchase a age court. Well, sometimes that doesn't work, because if you look at like Chase's website here, let's look at this. When it says small business loans, it says here to be approved for loans and lines under 500,000, Chase requires that your business be at least 2 years old and under the same majority ownership for the last 2 years. And you have to have that same ownership for the last 2 years, meaning you can't purchase a 10-year-old corp, switch the name over to you, and then say, yo, I'm going to go run it up because I got 10 years in business now. Not so much, not from every single bank. So it's just something to consider. I'm just throwing that out there now. So I'm not selling any dreams here on YouTube. All right. So it is possible, like I said, to string together up to 125K from separate banks, depending on your business, obviously, how much you're generating, your relationship with that bank. But all at one time, probably not going to happen. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to make the payments back on. I don't know what I was on when I was making this part, but it's all good. It's all good. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Y'all get it. So for business term loan, that was approved for 125K. All right. And it was with BHG Financial. Made y'all wait just a couple of minutes before I get it out, because you know how y'all be trying to just click on here and get right on out. But Yeah, it's from BHG Financial. Let's take a look at BHG real quick. This is going to be the website. And they also have personal loans too as well. So you see personal loans, small business loans, startup loans. Um, BHG actually started as a company that only was focused on funding for health professionals, right? To my knowledge, and maybe y'all probably don't care about all that, but either way, okay. Yeah, y'all probably don't care about that. I was gonna go into some of the history, but either way, this is the website. This is what it looks like. It's actually kind of funny that it says loans approved 125K there, because that's how much I got approved for. But it says no impact, no personal collateral required. Accomplish more with a large loan with extended terms. You can check your rate there. Again, this is what the website looks like, and these are some of the terms. Up to 500K, so you can get up to 500K with this loan. Okay, and they have a startup loan that's up to 500K too as well. All right, receive funds fast, 23 years, 18 billion in funding received. So just to go over that. Now, I started the inquiry on December 18th, 2024. It got funded $124,455.62 on December 26th, 2024. And let's show that too as well. As you see, actually, I got to sign back in, so y'all give me just a second. It popped on the screen for a second, but let me go back in here. All right, had to get it back on the screen. As we see, yep, recording. So as you see, $124,455.62. This was a 125K minus a wire. It's all here. So now let's take a look back. Just wanted to show you that I'm not just making up random information. That was my actual Chase business checking account. So it says my Experian FICO was 833 at the time that I applied. Now there is no hard check, meaning you won't get a hard inquiry, but BHG will check your personal credit as consideration. So this is not a no PG loan or anything like that. They don't quite disclose exactly what your personal credit needs to be, but it really depends on your business. So if your business is generating, millions of revenue, then they're going to be a lot more lenient on what your personal credit score is. But if you're not generating that much, then you're going to want to come to the table with a stronger personal credit score. Okay. And it is personally guaranteed, this loan is. I didn't have any other BHG products at the time of approval. LLC has been filed for 7 years, going on 8 years here soon next year. This did require UCC filing. So I talk about that all the time. I'm going to make I keep saying I'm going to make this separate business loan video, and I will. But essentially, this is saying that if everything defaulted in my business, I'm going to have to pay BHG back first, essentially. Will it stop you from getting, and this is technically a lien on your business, okay? But it does not stop you from getting funding from other institutions, because as I told you guys on the Chase video, when I got approved for 150K, I had a UCC filing for that too prior to getting this one. So obviously it didn't stop me from getting this one. Okay. So just something to consider. All right. Now the interest rate is astronomical to me. It's going to be 1.89 monthly, and then a 21.47% interest rate monthly. So the APR is actually 21%, dang near 21.5%. So I'm going to talk more about why I would even accept something like this since the interest rate is so high. Various reasons. I'm going to talk about it here shortly after I go through the journey and all that good stuff. And refinancing is available too as well. And again, I'll talk about that more shortly. 84 months is the term. Payments per month is around $3,200, and won't have to make the first payment until February. There isn't a prepayment penalty before a year of payment. Well, actually, yeah, after that 1 year, so I have to make the payment for at least a year. I was informed. They actually said that they could change that can be negotiated, but for right now, I have to at least make my payment for a year before I did any refinancing or any prepayment. After then, it would be a prepayment penalty. There were like several fees that I did have to pay on top of like the origination fee. There was like three fees um, for this loan. I typically don't like going for loans with additional fees either. But I'm going to tell you why I did this again. It's going to make sense once I put it all together. So how I applied was literally just directly online. I've spoken with someone from BHG before, but this isn't like a typical bank with like a business relationship manager and everything. So I just opted to go online for this particular loan. And here was the process. So there's a link that you can use on their website for a free loan calculator. I just showed that not too long ago. And you can see an estimate of how much your loan will be based on how much you're looking to borrow, etc. So once you finish that initial form, you will receive an email requesting to create a portal and also to fill out an application, okay, inside of the portal. And on this application, really only standard questions about revenue and your business, personal credit, and things like that were asked. It was actually no documentation requested at that time. So I was like, wow, is it possible to get this no docs? But no, like literally either that same day or the next day, they did ask me for additional documents and information. Okay. So I put this as a note for y'all. Just want to tell you, this is not really the time to use projected revenue because you don't want what you put on this application to be wildly different from what your numbers actually show if they ask you for docs. And I'm pretty sure they will. 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to get asked for docs for this. Okay. And indeed, I was asked for documents shortly by underwriters, like I said, not too long. But really, they only asked me for 1 year's of tax returns. I was looking back at it for reviewing for this video, and I thought it was like 2, 3 years, but really it was only 1 year's tax return and bank statements for 6 months. So, you know, if you have a good year, you had a good year last year, or by, in 2024, if that was a good year, then, this could be possible for you, right? Especially if you got good bank statements for the last 6 months. And I was asked for some additional clarification and different for different charges during the year and like different questions. So once they like reviewed all of my business bank statements and things like that, it did have like several questions and I answered them. And the process probably would have been shorter if there wasn't a Christmas break and weekend in between the time I started and the time that I got funded. So just a small note there. After sending in all the docs, I did receive an email for a request to schedule a call to discuss loan options. So I actually requested 150,000 and they approved me at 125,000. So at the time I got this, I'm thinking, oh, they probably finna be like, all right, this is the 50K option. Here's a 75K option or something. But it was 25K shorter than what I requested, but it was all good. So apparently at that point I was already approved, but the email didn't say anything about that. Just a small side note. So I scheduled a call, spoke with someone at BHG, which I will keep these contacts here moving forward for my clients and everything else, which is another reason why I do things like this. I always put myself in the fire first and get direct experience before I send my client somewhere. Like, if I don't, I'm just going to tell you that straight up. Hey, we don't have the exact data points for this particular bank. However, this is what I know about it, and then I'll answer any questions. But when I start recommending a bank and everything, I like to put myself in the fire first, get approved for it, see how the process was, so on and so forth. So I will keep that contact moving forward. But either way, I was given the terms and I accepted. I had to sign several DocuSign contracts and agreements. Then funds were wired same business day once everything was finalized. Now, here is the best part of this video to me. It's not even about the bank. It's not about the amount. All that stuff is cool, which is great information, I'm sure, for a lot of you. But here's where the beauty lies in. And when it comes to strategizing for funding, so you can kind of see my mindset in apply things to yourself. Or if you want to work with me, you can see, the kind of mind I have towards these things. And, maybe it makes sense for you too. But either way, what is my plan? First and foremost, just to let you know, any term loan that you get on the personal or business side, if it is above 10%, there should be some type of extra strategy that you have to get out of paying the loan before the term ends. So, like in plain terms, what I mean is that if you get approved for a loan at 17% and you have 5 years to pay it off. I would try to pay that off in a year, 2 years, 3 years, at least before that 5 years, since the interest rate is like 17%. That's the same mindset that I have for this loan. I'm not going to wait the full 84 months. Okay. I'm not going to wait 5 years to pay this off. All right. So, yeah, I'm going to pay this off early. It is mandatory that I have to do the first year, but I'm going to pay it off after that. And there's many different benefits of receiving a loan like this of this size for your business, and that's why I did it. So number one, once you have a trade line this size that's reporting to your business credit reports, it will make it 10 times easier to get approved again for another loan of that size or higher. It's because banks use something called comparable credit for approvals. So essentially what that means is that a bank is going to assess if they're going to lend you out either a business credit card, business line of credit, or business loan based on what you've already done, what's already reporting. Okay. So that's why business credit cards are so special, because you could go in not having the first business credit card and your first approval be 25, 50, 75K, even 100K plus just on your first approval, because they're basing it off of your personal credit. Even though it's not a business product, they will base it off of your personal credit for business credit cards. Now for business loans, same way, right? I don't have a loan of a term loan. At least I have the business line of credit for 150, but I don't have an actual term loan that is this size. So essentially that was one of my goals. I'm just thinking long term because I don't have any high amount of term loans, and I wanted this to be reporting to my business credit reports. Like picture using a secured personal credit card that you probably, like y'all probably use or currently using, where it's only $300, $500 or something like that, but you use that to get your first $2,500 limit, 5K limit, 10K limit, or whatever the case, and then it just went up from there. Once you got a 10K, it's hard. It's a lot easier to get a 15 or 20 or 25K. But it's hard to go from no personal credit cards at all to a 25K limit. Even if you have a clean profile, the bank probably that you go to is probably not going to go from 0 to 25K just on your first card. I wouldn't say it's impossible, but it's definitely way, way less likely that's going to happen. And for me, I'm looking to get approved for 250, 500K up to $1 million eventually, just in one loan, in one limit, in one business line of credit. So I'm building up that comparable credit just doing this. All right. And then I'm going to do a business vehicle the same way. It may not be the highest, the baddest vehicle of them all that's going to cost like 250,000 starting out. But, I may have to start from a 50 to 75K amount on a vehicle, if that makes sense. Meaning, whatever the amount of the vehicle that I get in my business's name is only going to be around 50 to 75K probably starting out. And then on the next one, if I want to get a vehicle that's better than that, I now have that business credit history showing that I've paid off a business vehicle of that size. So that's always my mindset when it comes to funding, especially when I'm doing stuff for my business. This is the mindset. I'm thinking long term. A lot of you guys are really short term in the thinking when it comes to funding, and you just want it now. It's like you got to build yourself up. I'm doing the same thing that I'm telling you guys to do. We're just at different levels. Some business owners, you may not have any business credit cards at all. You may have some, they might be lower limits. You're looking to get higher limits. You may have some higher limits and you're looking to get even higher. Whatever the case is, we're all just at different levels. But yeah, you should all have this mindset. You should adapt this mindset if you don't have it already. I think I covered everything here. It will make 10 times easier. Yep. Comparable credit. Yeah, I did say that. So if you pay off a 125K loan, which I'm going to do, then it's likely that you get approved for a 250K plus on the next loan. And it may be 150, 175, 200, but whatever the case, higher, either the same or higher amount. Because the next loan, if I get at this rate, or this amount, I want the rate to be a lot lower. Okay, so that's kind of my mindset there. Now, second thing I'm going to do is use this for debt consolidation. So I ran the numbers, and I actually will be saving money every month, even after the payment for this loan. So it's going to help out a lot with that too as well. Third, I'll use the extra cash for more immediate funding opportunities too as well, by now being able to start and establish relationships with a bigger cash reserve. Imagine starting a business checking account with 50,000 instead of just putting $500 in there, or $50 to start a new relationship. Now you got 50,000. Now it's much more likely that you get approved for a higher limit on the business side, whether it be a business line of credit or a business loan, whatever the case is, from that institution that you're building a relationship with. Lastly, I will eventually reconsolidate this loan, like I said, either with BHG. I'll see what BHG is talking about for the reconsolidation, or I'm going to do it with another bank, because my worst case scenario is using my business line of credit to pay back the loan early anyways from Chase, because I got 150K that I can leverage there. So really have no way to lose there. And you also can use a lot of the cash from your loan to pay back your loan. So that's kind of what I'm giving y'all a few of my secrets, man. I normally don't give out like that, but it's all good. It's all good. I appreciate everybody being here and rocking with me up to this point. So, I'm giving y'all a little bit more sauce, giving y'all a little bit more. But either way, that's why I went for this loan. Even after seeing the terms, I took some time, ran the numbers, looked at, all the opportunities that I could get from it, everything else, consider everything, and then say, you know what, okay, I'll go ahead and approve this or accept it. So that's pretty much it. That's how I got approved for a 125K term business loan from BHG. I hesitate saying that because y'all might try to skip to the end just to see what bank it was. But either way, that's pretty much it, y'all. Do you have any questions? Let me know in the comments. And if you need one-on-one help, hit the resource in the description to see if I can get you up to 250K in business funding. It's going to be a quick survey. If you meet the criteria, we'll hop on a call. We'll build out a customized funding strategy on the call too as well, and talk about how we can get you funded within the next 30 days. That's pretty much it, y'all. See y'all in the next one. Peace for now.